stuck on the bridge, we had to walk the cars off the bridge. I ain't doing shit, I'm serious. You know, black people, one thing we don't do is snow. Unless we had a resort with. We got all the snow gear, but we ain't got no skis. We don't ski, but we'll go to the snow party. We'll go to the mountains with the cabin, but we ain't going outside. You ever been outside on the skis? Me either. People die like that. You remember Son? What was his name? Sonny Bono? Right into a tree. I don't trust that shit. You slide on ice. You might be trying to get on this pole right here. I'm gonna slide right into that. That's your ass. That is your ass. That's why black people don't do winter type shit. I heard black people invented hockey. Did y'all hear that? But we don't play that shit no more. We don't play that shit no more. You're right. We want to ask them, but we'll stay at home, goddamn. Them white boys out there doing hockey with no teeth. One of them got 3 teeth, they two like this. Right there in front. Black people, we play safe sports and shit. Well, not really football that fuck you up. Anybody let a football player that used to play about 10, 15, 20 years ago? All them motherfuckers in wheelchairs. Ain't no shit. They can't walk no more. I'm telling you, they need an extra cushion in their helmets or something. Back in the day, football, y'all see football way back in the day? What would you wear? A leather helmet. Concussion in 3, 2, 1.
It's hard for me. Yo, man, like, you know,
I'm just rambling on. We got a little tequila, that's all. If you haven't ordered no food tonight, order some food, because I don't see shit but empty plates right here, so that means the food is good. What's some good food in here?
If I hate it, it's gonna sound like it.
And if you really want to have a good time, get you a shot of liquor, okay? I recommend a shot. Get you some tequilas over there.
Tequila, taco, terramana,
Okay.
It's taco, tequila, what? Terramana.
That's tequila.
Okay, and that's happening today for Tuesday?
Yeah, Tuesday.
Is it a special on that tequila?
$10.
Okay. That's special enough. That's special to me.
This is sour apple.
So get yourself something to eat, get something to drink. You won't be disappointed in the food, okay?
Cherry.
Sour apple cherry. Oh.
And if you like good alcohol, look at me. I feel pretty.
Hurricane. Hey, can you check on them? We're just waiting to start waiting. We just need to make sure that we're ready to start. Can you just check with DJ? She's ready? Okay, so
They just have to pair her laptop to
but I thought that's what they were doing, so I'm wondering if they're paired. We're good? Okay, so we're ready. We just get it. Get started. So whoever's in the music, Teeny, talk. We'll wait.
Check 1, 2, 1, 2.
That's you. Okay, so we're doing the intro. We're good? No. You've seen mine. That's.
I don't think I've seen that.
You have.
3.
Yeah. My son was here my oldest.
All right, we better get this thing started. If you're in the house and y'all ready to get this thing started, can somebody scream, oh yeah? Oh, yeah. If you're looking good tonight? Let me hear you say, oh yeah. Now, if you ain't broke as hell, you got at least $5 in your pocket. Let me hear you say, oh yeah. All right. All right, so we better get this live taping started. Can I get their attention right there at the bar? What's up, brothers? How y'all doing tonight? All right, this is a live taping. We about to get started, and we don't want to hear you, all right? I'm just fucking with you. We do want to hear from you, though, okay? So we want y'all to be interactive tonight. Everything that I say, I want y'all to hype me up, okay? I'm introducing the show, so I want y'all to, we had a live taping. Let's get the energy live. If y'all ready to get this thing started, make some noise in here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so I'm going to welcome y'all to the Way of Kingz podcast. Thank you for joining us live, all right? We have an amazing cast tonight, and I want y'all to show you love for our celebrity host tonight, Head Crack. You can follow Head Crack at Head Crack. That's Head K-R-A-C-K. And you can find Head Crack as seen on TV, Dish Nation, Side Dish, and a lot of people know him from the Ricky Smiley Morning Show. He's live right here, so show him some love right now, y'all. Alright, so what you don't know about Head Crack is he's like a Swiss Army knife. He's everything, okay? Alright, he's a host, a comedian, a radio show and music artist. You can find his latest projects. You can stream him, okay? You can find his latest project, Microdose, and in the words of Head Crack, wherever you stream, he is there, okay?
Wherever you stealing your music from.
Wherever you pirating your music from, you can find Head Crack. Show Head Crack some love, y'all. Our special guest panelist, Ash, the Queen Pen of radio. And you can find Ash at @the Media Queen Pen. Alright? She's the CEO of Gumbo Radio, a show on B96, The Block. Ash is literally the gateway for fame, success, and entertainment in our culture. So show you love for Ash. And sitting over here to the side there, the smooth gentleman over here, Mr. Kevin Williams. He is our business mogul and investor, and he's one of our panelists. Please show your love for And to the reason that we are here today, my girl Law, the Kingmaker herself. Can y'all show Law some love? All right, so we have special guest performances. We have a halftime show with Yes Tish. And you can find her on IG at Yes Tish. I tried to say that like she said it to me. Y-A-S-S Tish. T-I-S-H. All right, so show your love for our halftime performance. She's a producer, singer, and songwriter, and record studio owner. Okay? Operating and closing the show. We are opening and closing this show tonight with Kiwi. She's a singer, songwriter, and author. You can find Kiwi at your favorite fruit snack. We're gonna get this show kicked off. If y'all are ready, make some noise out here. And show a little love for our live performance by Kiwi.
Yo.
Hello.
Hey, Kiwi.
Kiwi.
go better? Yeah, there we go. Okay. Yeah. So I'm a passenger princess. But we're gonna ride out tonight, okay? Whenever you're ready.
DJ Red.
Y'all ready? I know the winter has broken. Y'all ready for some vacation?
Yeah.
It's about that time, right? Yeah, so we're gonna ride out whether we're doing flights or road trips. Is it playing? We about to do it a cappella in a minute. Safe place to release. Come follow me. See what it could be. If only for the weekend. Baby, we can ride out. Maybe we can ride south. Wanna dip like right now for the weekend. Don't you wanna see the ocean? Plenty breeze, clean and open. Travel, buddy, you've been chosen only for the weekend. Say, oh, I need sand beneath my feet. So I'll risk everything if only for the weekend. Maybe we can ride out. Maybe we can ride south. Wanna dip like right now for the weekend. Baby, we can ride out. Maybe we can ride south. Wanna dip like right now. All inclusive, please. Don't disturb me, please. Balcony indeed, only for the weekend. It's way past time to fly out. Taking risk and with no doubt. And we come in with all that, only for the weekend.
Y'all show your love for Kingz. Hey, no offense, Ash, but I think that's my favorite fruit snack.
No, that's fine.
All right, y'all, we about to get into it. Cut, y'all, cut. All right, one more time for Kiwi. Y'all show your love for Kiwi, y'all. Welcome to the Way of Kingz.
Welcome to the Way of Kingz live podcast. Thank you guys for coming out and joining us tonight. Headcrack is always reminding me about my mic. Welcome.
She be trying to Wi-Fi her voice.
Right? The Wi-Fi signal is strong in the building.
No doubt. And also, one more time, make some noise for Kiwi.
Woo!
Also, big shout out to herself. That laptop's done. But yo, man, shout out to everybody in the building, man. Big shout out to the real Milk and Honey for allowing us to come up in here. Fantastic concoctions that they whip up for the people, them.
So tonight we've got sour apple cherry, which for those who have mimosas in the building, we know it's amazing. So thank you, Kennedy. All right, so before we get started, I want to do some honorable mentions. Number one, I want to thank the team, the Way of Kingz podcast team. So obviously, you know, Hurricane did an amazing job of introducing our hosts and our panel, but there's the behind the scenes, you know, people who make this work, right? So we got Mo.
Hey.
From Greenhouse Marketing over there, doing our audio visual. We have Cash Coach,
Yeah, Cash.
who is Work 420 Entertainment, who is a staple, a foundation to making all of this work. I can't even list out all the things he does, so we're just going to like stop there. So now our producer, Sean Garvey, from president of Honey TV Network, had a prior engagement tonight, so he's not here, but he is a huge part of making this possible. So let's give Sean a round of applause in his absence tonight. So I want to say hey to the independent king, Naj.
Hey, Naj.
In the building. So Naj is not just an artist. He's a movement. And one of the things that I love about his brand is that he is a leader and a mentor for independent artists. So helping them, navigate these murky waters of the entertainment industry. And, a lot of these people are young people who want to, come into this industry. But I love when someone is teaching what that obligation is. What that requirement is when you're going to be in the ears and the minds of people. So thank you, Naj, for doing what you do. Now, we've got some other honorable mentions in the house. And one of them is Piano Shotty.
Hey.
Okay.
Hey, Piano Shotty.
Piano Shotty. Can you, Hurricane? Hurricane's ordering a drink right now. Hurricane. Look, guilty as hell. Hurricane. Oh, see, he got us a whole nother. All right. I'm sorry. I was going to say thank you. Thank you is what I was going to say. Hurricane, I would like you to give Piano Shotty the mic so Piano Shotty can tell us about who he is and what he does.
You said me?
You pass the mic, please and thank you. Because you got mic post tonight to Piano Shotty right there. Next to Miss Yaz Tish. Are we on? Oh, Piano Shotty, would you mind standing up so we can get you on the camera, please? Thank you.
Right here.
You done dropped it. We good, Mo? Okay, we're good. Tell us about you, sir.
My name is Piano Shouted. I am a producer, recording engineer, mixing master engineer in a studio.
Amazing. Now, I know that doesn't do you justice, but I will say that y'all gonna understand who he is when we get to the halftime show. So we're just gonna leave that there. Yeah. Fair enough?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, now I'm gonna pass the mic to the queen pin of radio media to do some additional honorable mentions tonight.
That because we got some fire people in the building. Starting with my boo, Miss Brandy Little, okay? And Nemo, of course, on them drums, he be on the drums. So Nemo and Brandy are special guests in the building today. I've known Nemo for years. He's a great friend of mine. He's opened several doors for me. So what y'all see is not just me out here doing work. It's actually other people putting me into positions, seeing potential in me, and putting me into spaces that I can benefit from. So you have to give those flowers, and you have to, express that when it's due. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So shout out to Nemo, shout out to Brandy for being
Welcome. Brandy is a phenomenal vocalist.
and great person.
Phenomenal vocalist. So the night I met Ash, I'm walking to my car to leave, and Brandy flags me down, and I was like, hi, caught with somebody rolled down the window, and it was like a mafia movie, okay? But then she sent me her music, and I was like, damn. Yeah. So Brandy's gonna be performing here at the Way of Kingz podcast sometime this season, to be determined the dates, but make sure y'all come out because you'll get to see her amazingness. And we are recruiting Nemo for the Way of Kingz house band. Yeah, putting that out there now.
Arguably one of the baddest drummers in
the land.
Country, not just in the city of Atlanta. This brother's been a thoroughbred in any venue I walk in, and yo man, I'd be shocked all the places I run. Like I just walk in and Nemo's just there doing his thing, going crazy, man. So it's always a good vibe when you see Nemo in the house.
Absolutely. Now, are y'all ready? Y'all ready?
Yeah.
Okay. So our first segment of every show is Move Better with Head Crack.
Oh, it's on me.
Yes.
All right, well, let's move it then. Well, shout out to all y'all, man. Like, the thing about life, man, you got to go out there and try everything. And I think a lot of times we get held back by not failing at enough things.
Agreed.
Because we are afraid of failing sometimes, you know, because we don't like rejection. We don't like how it feels. And failing looks like a bunch of different things. Whether it's like, you know, trying a new exercise routine. Oh, I ain't flexible enough to do that yet. Yo, I've been addicted to hot yoga for about, I don't know, 7-8 months now, right? And for those who don't know what hot yoga is, it's a thing you go in, it's yoga, but it's hot. I was about to overcomplicate the explanation. Go do yoga at 120 or 30 degrees. Yo, the first time I ever did it, you know, because most sessions are about 35 minutes. Yo, starting to see my ancestors.
Right.
I seen from Black Panther when he was seeing like, you know, the original Black Panther and his pops, all of that.
I'm done.
However, as each week progressed, I got better and better. And was able to do more of those poses without falling all over the place and knocking myself into people. And that literally put me into a place where I could literally move better. But it takes uncomfortability sometimes to ascend to that next level, to achieve that, whether it's a pose or a new success that you want in life, or a new opportunity that you want to create yourself. You're gonna have to bump your head a few times just to learn how to do it. Man, how many shots do you think LeBron James missed before he started figuring it out? Probably still had a full head of hair. You know what I'm saying? However, like, you know, he put in the work, he continued to grind, so now he's like the guy. And like, yo, like he had to miss some shots in order to make some shots. A lot of people start businesses. Your first business might not be a home run. Your first business might be a crash course on how not to do business in the future, because you have to do that, what they call trial and error. It's kind of like making a pancake. You will burn that first one maybe, but the second, third one, the joint's gonna be light and fluffy the way you like it.
Crispy on the edges though.
Crispy on the edges though. If that's what we want to do, if that's what we aspire to do, I mean, parenting goes the same way.
Yeah.
First kid might be the one that has it all figured out because you're going a little bit more rogue with the approach. Like my oldest, talk to him crazy his entire childhood. I have the least amount of problems out of my oldest. It's my beige 6-year-old. It's a problem. Because, you know, but it's all about that trial and error. You know, you think it's pretty, Christopher Williams, you know? But all that to say, man, like, you know, whatever you're afraid of, the first time you step out and do it, it can no longer kill you. It's nothing to be afraid of anymore. Like, even home ownership. People get scared at the idea of having to commit to something for 15 to 30 years. But don't let that scare you. With that, once you get over that, and you sign all that truth in lending paperwork that seems like it goes on forever and ever, what that now puts you on is a path to self-sufficiency and hopefully generational wealth that you could possibly leave to somebody when you're no longer here on this blue rock that we on. But you have to not be afraid to jump out there and try that and go for it. And once you do it and you realize, oh man, it's way better than like renting and paying people, that's gonna help you move better. Trying something that you're scared of, like I was scared of hot yoga. Yo, I'm so flexible. Like, what pose do you want me to take? What are we doing?
Wait, can I get head right? Wait, I'm trying to get you on camera. Doing chair pose.
Perch eagle, downward dog, warrior 1, 2, and 3. We're doing it all. But it wasn't easy. I was the clumsy newborn giraffe in the beginning. And after I was afraid, after I stopped being afraid of looking silly in there, I got better. And everything that you try to do in life that you're afraid of, you will get better at it once you fail at it.
I agree.
And I'm praying that you don't fail at it. Hopefully you're an anomaly, that does everything right the first time, but you know, results may vary. It doesn't happen for everybody.
Don't you
But
have, wait. Can we talk about that for a second?
what?
Don't you have something called results may vary? Isn't that a thing?
Yeah, I think if I don't do it in the next 3 months, it doesn't exist anymore.
Okay,
However,
so tell us about it.
it's a mixed band kind of comedy show mixed with music and games and stuff like that. But I'm gonna do another one coming up in probably between now and June. But that's neither.
And Headcrack is going to tell us about it on the Way of Kingz podcast, and we are going to hold him accountable for promoting his Results May Vary show.
See, steel sharpens steel, and you need people around you that will push you to be the best versions of yourself. So
And she gonna do it. She gonna do
won't
it.
she
baby.
do it? With that being said, I'm Headcrack. Hopefully, any of these things I said will help you move better.
Hey.
As the parent of another beige child, if y'all have come to the podcast, you will see Nemo and Brandy, colored people that are from me in the house. So first of all, I have to say, you know, my life is trial and error, right? And you learn so much more from the things that you fail at versus the things that you succeed at the first time, right? Sometimes it's luck, sometimes, you know, or sometimes it's you not thinking too much about it, so you just like, you know, it's like playing a video game and not knowing what each combination is, and then you just, you know, buck around and you hit, you're like, fatality. Now, that tells you how old I am since I'm quoting Mortal Kombat.
No, that is still a game. It's still a game that people play. They came out with a new one last year.
Thank you. Now I feel better. But I will say that I actually, on my list, you guys know from episode 1 of the Way of Kingz podcast, the challenge that was given is to determine what kind of man you want to be, what kind of woman you want to be. And on my list, I made a daily challenge to do something uncomfortable every day, to ask for something unreasonable and do something uncomfortable.
I love that.
And when I operate, I don't do it all the time. I'm human. I make mistakes, but when I do, the results are incredible. They don't actually vary. They are incredible. I mean, you don't always get everything you ask for, but you learn that it's possible, right? So I 100% support the Move Better segment, and I say to move better, fail more.
Yeah.
Try things that you wouldn't normally try. Do things that make you uncomfortable, and I promise you will move better. So, Miss Queen Penn of Radio Media, do you have any comments on Headcrack's Move Better segment?
I agree. No, seriously, I think like when you step outside of your comfort zone and you do things that you think that you typically would not be capable of doing, and then you, like you said, may fail the first time, but then the second time you realize you can get the hang of it, it creates an inner almost Hulk. Like you want to chase that high and you want to continue to try to do things that you felt that you weren't capable of. But that's how people wear many hats. That's how people have several streams of income or have the capability, to do different things. He does so many things. Like he's not just a drummer, you know what I mean? But to be able to wear all those hats successfully and do those things efficiently is one thing. To just be playing around is another thing. So that's fine.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Ash. Kevin?
I think one of the things that's important about what Headcrack was saying was the mindset that you have in trying new things. And I think all of us would be a lot more successful if we look at everything as practice. Not that this is your one opportunity.
This isn't the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's not the Super Bowl. Everything is practice. In life, people, like you were saying about raising children, when you're doing a talent or things of that nature, as long as you look at life and your experiences as practice, you'll constantly be willing to learn more, to get better at it. When you reach a point that you feel like you know everything or you're the master of something, you kind of close off.
Learning.
Yeah, you stop learning, you kind of close yourself off. So I've seen some people who are what all of us would consider like at the top of their game, one of the best that we all know, and they're still open and willing to learn. They think of everything in the lines of, it's something that we're practicing. You can always learn more, you can always get better. And that'll allow you to not get frustrated when you're trying new things and failing at it and so on and so forth. But if you feel like you have to accomplish something by a certain age or a certain time, then you start to get frustrated. You don't want to try new things. It changes your whole attitude. So that mindset that you have as far as keeping everything in the realm of practicing, I think is real important, goes along the way.
Brother, one of the things that blew my mind, I read in an interview, or maybe heard in an interview because I think it was live, Denzel Washington, as great as he is, says that he still drops into acting classes.
Yeah.
To still work on and practice his craft. And this is a guy that you figured knows it all, figured it out, won awards for being a great actor. So, like, if somebody who is at the top of their game can still practice and work on their game and like expand their thing, we never should stop learning and growing.
Absolutely. Go ahead and ask. So I want to add something to that. I had the pleasure of meeting, I don't know if anybody in here is into real estate, but I had the pleasure of shadowing Pace Morby, who is like a huge real estate guru. He does a lot in real estate, digital currency and things of that nature. And he took me to the Aspire Tour, and he did a live podcast similar to this with Tim Story. And Tim Story is a mentor, and so he mentors a lot of celebrities and a lot of different people. And he said something to me that stuck out. He said, well, not to me, but on the podcast. He said, I mentor some of the people that are, what he said, at their highest level of success. They're big names, not to call it, but people that you would know, And he said they're miserable because they've reached every single peak that they can reach creatively, but they have nobody to share it with. They have, they still haven't fulfilled their purpose. So he said your passion and your purpose are two different things. You gotta know your purpose, you know what I mean? So ultimately you won't feel fulfilled, I feel like, until you actually start to attack that actual purpose. Your career is totally different from that.
Right.
Can be.
Right, can be, 100%. I love that. Let's give a round of applause for Head Crack's Move Better segment. Cash, you wanna add anything before we? Okay, so this is an inside joke, y'all. Of me trying to get Cash on this side of the camera. You ready?
You're entertaining to do it, brother.
Right, like legitimately.
He has the mentality. He definitely gotta get put on.
He be making a highlight reel.
Wait, didn't we just say do something uncomfortable that makes you uncomfortable?
Yeah. Mentally, I've already started doing it. Mentally, I'm there with that. I'm gonna take the steps as we keep going.
What's funny is he's actually hiding behind the pole. While saying that. That's crazy.
That's hilarious.
That man got orange.
Don't play. So I appreciate y'all's patience too, because my voice like literally just came back. Haircut told me like 3 days ago, and I was like,
oh, that's right, you were sick.
I was. Oh wow, that's what we do. So my voice just came back, sort of. It's not even all the way back. Y'all who know me know this is not it, but I appreciate your patience. So do y'all know what tonight's topic is?
No.
He said, I know. You have no excuse, Mo. You are part of the Way of Kingz podcast team. Right. Tonight's topic is the purpose and power of men. Right. The purpose and power of men.
Yes.
Now, my segment, you guys know, for those who have been here before, is the segment where you guys talk to us and tell us your perspective on whatever it is we're talking about. That segment is called Speak to the Queen in Me. So my first piece of housekeeping is Speak to the Queen in Me. If you're about to say some shit that isn't speaking to the Queen in me, don't say it. Because we are here to create kings and queens, not creating the rest of the bullshit. So the question that I'm posing to the audience tonight is, number one, what do you think the purpose of men is? And if my son was here tonight, he would have the answer. But we're going to see what you guys have come up with.
Do your best impression of your son, the voice and everything. What would he say? You want to know.
I'll do it as soon as they give their answers.
Okay.
So if you, and this is for men and women, what do you think the purpose of men is? Come on now. I know y'all are percolating back there. Right. I know y'all got some great answers.
Just raise your hand.
And it really ain't no.
Okay. So is Yas Tish in the stream of? Is she gonna get on camera?
Who?
Yas Tish, Miss Yas Tish, the cowboy hat. Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
He's like, what are you talking about? I got this. Okay, sorry. I'm sorry, Mom.
Okay, so I think the purpose of men should be to protect us, to regenerate the earth, repopulate the earth,
That's good shit.
to provide shelter, to provide home and comfort for our women, to lift us up, to hold us down.
To move random empty carafes of mimosa away from the mic so that you can be better. Exactly. While she's on the mic. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, shorty. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I think that's what I think.
I love that. I love that. Let's give Miss Yaz Tish a round of applause. Does anybody have anything different or adjacent to what Miss Yaz Tish said? Let me ask you a question. Why are men typically taller, bigger, and stronger than women?
Genetics.
Oh, wow.
No, like, I mean, historical genetics. Because, way back since the dawn of time.
But why? That's what I'm getting to, but why?
Because God knew what it was. You know,
the assignment.
I mean, because it's a pairing thing, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, women typically are the nurturers, the ones who are gonna make sure like everything is handled at a like, hey, do you have what you need level. Guys, it's always kind of been our duty to protect.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Make sure we ain't getting killed by a bobcat. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like you take out the whole family. I mean, we've come a long way since the tattered pants age to where we are now, and like, yo, like guys used to, we lift and build and move things and be a dominating force that like people would be afraid to approach.
Yeah.
Protect the family dynamic.
Well, I agree with what you're saying though. So I 100% agree with that. Anybody else in the audience before we go to Miss Ash and Kevin? I'm looking.
Oh, you know about Miss Ash?
It'd be good. Okay, so yes, sir, Mr. Golden.
I don't believe there's a specific way a man's supposed to be. I believe that
B or purpose. This is the question.
Purpose.
Is purpose.
B is the same thing. I think that you are supposed to feel whatever space is missing, because you can get with a woman who already has all the things that you're saying a man should have, but you have to be what they're missing.
Okay.
I don't really believe that there is a specific thing a man's supposed to be doing or a specific thing that a woman's supposed to be doing. I think that whatever relationship you find yourself in, you have to be that strength in what the person you're with is missing. You understand? You have to be that counterpart.
I like that.
Opposites attract.
Period. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's
Okay,
not,
so let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. I agree with what you said. You should be able to fill in the blank. Actually, Headcrack said that, I think, like, damn near episode 1, that you fill in, you are of service to those who need you in the ways that you need to be of service based on
you're the puzzle piece that fills in the missing thing.
Now, does that mean that you are not, because based on what Miss Yaz Tish and even kind of what Headcrack said, does that mean that if you come around, or you go to meet a woman and she is not generally in a situation where she's in any physical danger, that means that if you are with her and she finds herself in a situation where she needs actual physical protection and or things that require like bigger, taller, stronger muscles, etc. and so forth, that is not your job because...
No, what I said was, because obviously what you're saying, that's the missing piece.
Okay.
So if you don't have that, then it's my job.
But what if she does have, what if she has security? What if she has security, but you all are on vacation in Cabo? Are you going, see, I hope they got that over there. I'm sure that they handled that. Or are you going, as the man in this situation?
As the man, she's missing security. I'm going to fill that hole.
Okay, cool.
That's the point.
I'll take it.
I'm there for what you don't have. And that doesn't mean that I don't have it. It doesn't mean that I want to provide it. It just means that that's our relationship. You know what I'm saying? When you get with a person and you understand this person, a true relationship, you understand what that person is missing. You know what I'm saying? There's not going to be a what if, because you know this person is that person.
Love that.
Regardless of where you are.
Love that.
Does that make sense?
Okay. I'll give you something to go. There you go, Miss
If you look at the dynamics of Papoose, his current relationship, he's dating the boxer Clarissa Shields.
Right.
She's his protector now.
the club and something jump off.
See the champ. Like,
but not me.
She could give men that
She
word.
probably could, but I bet you she probably want him to step the fuck up in the event that some jumps off.
I don't know.
That's to any woman who's ever had to pick their dude off the floor if that was not his skill set. How did that affect the relationship
Moving forward. Is he moving better? Okay.
You gotta pick your spots.
You gotta pick. I love that. Okay.
Can I interject one thing? The kitchen is closing.
Okay, so anyone, it's 10 o'clock, almost 10 o'clock. Oh, it's after 10 o'clock. Okay. So if you are gonna order food, do it now. I had some rasta pasta with salmon bites on top. And Ashley ate some of my salmon bites. How was the salmon bites? It was really good. So order you some food before the kitchen closes, because the only thing you'll be able to get from this point forward is alcohol. So enjoy, do that. Miss Ash.
Well, we like alcohol.
We do. Miss Queen Penn of Radio Media, you wanted to drop some knowledge on us. Let's hear it. What was the question? The question is, what is the purpose of men?
So to my friend with the Cartier, with the frames,
with the Cartier frames?
Yeah, with the frames, I kind of agree on that perspective. That a man is there to be the additional piece to what you don't have. I don't know. I've been married since 2013. I've been with the same person since 2006. So the way that my relationship works and the way that other people's relationship works may not be the same, but I'm a 50-50 type person. So I believe in 50-50, the 50-50 rule. We don't have any gender roles in our house. If the trash is overflowing and he's asleep, I'm not about to wake him up and take the trash out. I'm going to take the trash out. I don't know. I'm just one of those type of people that will just do it, and I don't really look to my man to do certain things because they say that this is the man's role. Yeah. Now, certain things I just won't do. I don't like to drive. You know what I mean? So he be stuck driving a lot. You know, he might not like to drive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not doing nothing with a car. Like, I put air in a tire, but you know, that's about.
You know, I put air in the tire for the first time in my life.
Yeah, no,
like 2
I'm
weeks
good
ago.
at that.
And I was like, why am I doing this?
I can do that. I can put oil in my car. I can get me a funnel and put a little oil up in there. I know how to do all that. But anything else outside of that, I'm gonna be like, yo, bro, come see what's the problem.
Right.
You know, I live by the waters. Like, I'm not that person. Like, I'm not just about to be like, come to the car to come get the waters. Like, I'm gonna take the waters in the house with me because I don't want him to have to come back outside. I'm already out here. You know what I mean? Like, that's just me. Some women are really women. They require for their men to do a lot. I call the beige teenager.
The one that's like,
oh yeah, I call kids too.
Right, kids. The children. It's like their job. We should be. What's the purpose and power of children?
I'm not. That's why I said my perspective is different because I'm just not. I'm different. You know what I mean? I'm a 50-50 type person. I believe that everything should be 50-50 in my house because I want a 50-50 say. Okay. I don't want somebody
50-50 what?
A 50-50 say. I don't want somebody feeling like because they have pay all the bills and they help me and they take care of me or whatever they have to run me and they get to tell me what to do, where to do it, all that type of stuff.
So I love it. Okay, so I gotta say, I agree with you 100% there. To the 50-50 thing though, I honestly believe that unless men have to carry a child for 9 months and go through labor, it will never be 50-50. Because for real,
and the reason, let me say this, the reason I say that is because just like I'm independent in this media game and I'm chasing my career, my husband is independent in his career and he's chasing his career. It's not fair for me to be able to keep all my money and be able to put it into my craft and to pursue my dream, but he forced to pay all the bills, take care of the kids and do all these other things and he can't chase his dream. I want him to win. Right. And I want to win. So guess what I'm gonna do? The light bill $200, I got $100 on it. Right. You know what I mean? And it's really simple to me. But some people don't feel that way, and that's their perspective, and that's the way they run their house. A lot of people they don't feel that way, they be single, but that's not my business. Right. You know what I mean? It's just not my business.
So I appreciate your perspective, and one of the things we talked about, I think it was last week, was that every relationship doesn't look the same.
That's
right?
true. We did talk about
every relationship doesn't look the same, and because 3 or 4 episodes ago, it was communication and transparency was the name of the episode. And the concept was that if you function a specific way, if you have a specific like dynamic in your relationship, whether it is that you are monogamous or non-monogamous or whatever the case is, the thing that is a non-negotiable is that you are transparent up front and that you communicate effectively. And then let people decide how they're going to move and interact with you. Because there's not a specific right and wrong in that regard. It's just a matter of, are you aligned with someone who is in harmony with your mindset? Or are you looking at somebody going, I really like them, and I'm going to bamboozle them until they're like in love with me. And then now I'm going to hope that they'll stick around after that point. So I think that however anyone's direct individual relationship dynamic financially is up to them.
Yeah.
When some shit goes down, my question is, who got it?
Oh yeah, for sure. But I mean, I feel like in most cases, especially the man is gonna always be the protector in a situation.
Okay.
Like I'm 5'1". You know what I mean? Like it's only so much I can do. You know, but I'm gonna jump in. You know what I'm saying? Whatever going down. I promise you over there. I promise you
The hurricane just get dodged the mic. The independent king on the mic.
Yo, this is crazy. What is y'all saying? I agree with everybody, honestly. I think it's to each his own. So if something goes down, first and foremost on the record, she got the register strap, not I. So yeah, it's registered. That's why your business out there. It's all legal. You know what I'm saying? So I will hope she have my back if something goes down. I'm old school warrior, you know, hands, you know what I'm saying, barbarian type, you know what I mean? Since it's been a millennium, you know, they out here packing, so that's just what it is. I don't think it's I don't know if anybody's familiar with Sadhguru, but I watch Sadhguru, I listen to Sadhguru, and one thing that stuck out to me, what he said is, it's really not a purpose in life. So it's to answer the question, it's more like, we're here just to live life, and it's really not a purpose of a man or a woman or a role or anything. It's just the energy and space that you travel on Earth, and you just find your path and your truth. So I guess to answer your question, it's like you kind of wouldn't live your complete truth because now you're trying to share it with another energy or another soul or another space where I guess the purpose would be you find each other, opposites attract,
right.
The magnet, your birth chart, your spirit would align. And to answer everybody's question, your strength, your weaknesses, everything,
fill in the blank.
It would fill in the blank, you know. So it's, to be honest, I just think if you never look for love and you don't find that those the best relationships and the best partners, it's always when you force something in life, period, it just always never works out.
I agree.
Words of Andre 3 Stacks. You can plan a pretty picnic, can't predict the weather. I'm done.
Hey.
So, the concept, I'm not familiar with the person that you mentioned.
Andre 3000?
Oh, no. I know. The whole room is like, hey, you say Andre 3000? Of course, I understand who that is.
3 Stacks. He also said 3 Stacks. Keep it hard. 3 Stacks. Keep it hard.
Oh, okay.
You're going to get robbed.
Apparently. So I honestly believe that we do each individually have our own purpose. I don't think that there's necessarily like everyone has the same purpose, like at all. I think that individually, like I'm very clear on what my purpose is. So I understand that they're each, and it's not the same as, you know, anyone else, and that's great. So Kevin, want to weigh in on this subject? The purpose of men?
Right, so I think I've expressed this before, but I agree, first off, that everyone doesn't have the same role or doesn't do things the same way, but I do think that men are foundational.
Agreed.
And to be foundational, to be some type of support, you have to not only know what you're doing, but be serious about what you're doing. To provide some type of stability.
Right.
So whether you're an artist, a teacher, athlete, or whatever the case is, whatever you're about, when you're about that and you provide some type of stability, then it does, I think what one of the other brothers was saying, as far as provide that balance. And whatever female or woman that's with you now she at least knows how to move around you. But if you're always changing, if you're changing something today from yesterday, you don't have that foundation or stability, then it's very difficult for people to know how to relate to you. So it should be very difficult for you to work out a relationship and cause things to be smooth. If it's a different thing all the time, you're not any type of stability. But whatever it is you're doing, if you do it consistently, do it with the right vigor.
Do it well.
Practice at it constantly. You're working at whatever you are, not whatever you're doing. Whatever you are, you're constantly working at that. Then I believe that you provide the foundation or the stability that allows your woman, and everybody else for that matter, to be able to relate to you better. Because they know what it is that they have in front of them. It's the same.
I 100% agree with that.
Great advice.
Great advice. It's funny because I wanted to pull this up so I can read it because it just like brought up. We added a landing page for the Way of Kingz podcast to the Kingmaker Enterprises website, and the description for the Way of Kingz podcast reads as follows. The Way of Kingz podcast is a live event dedicated to empower the men of our communities to recognize and exercise their power. When the foundation of our community, men, are nurtured, guided, and supported appropriately, they in turn make the lives of their family and the entire village better. So for those of us who have been here for multiple episodes, I think it was episode 3 might have actually been the village. It was every leader needs a village, right? So the concept of a village is something that we've kind of moved away from in our community that we need to get back to, which is what caused me to start the non-for-profit, The Village. Manhood is a skill set, not a given. Our goal with the Way of Kingz podcast is to develop real men. And then, of course, the most fun in therapy you'll ever have at the Way of Kingz podcast. Now, real men in this is an acronym. Real. R for responsible and reliable. A for accountable. Oh, I'm skipping letters. Yeah. E for earnest and trustworthy. I just really love that accountable part, so I just keep skipping to it. A for accountable and L for leaders. So that is our like foundational acronym for what a real man is, based on the framework of this podcast, the Way of Kingz podcast. So there are some like foundational things. As a man or a woman interacting with a man, I should be able to count on you. Whatever, and whatever our relationship dynamic is, even if it's a business partnership, I can rely on Headcrack to do the things that Headcrack does as it pertains to this podcast. He is responsible. He is reliable. He is accountable. He is earnest. Like, Headcrack is one of the coolest, realest people I've ever met in my life.
Thank you.
Legitimately. And he is also a leader, not only in his industry, but as a person, as a man. So I'm using this as an example, but the idea that there should be some foundational stuff that we can have as a definite thing. Even if you are that, like Mr. Golden was saying, plug and play, fill in the blank person, I should still be able to count on you. You should be reliable for whatever that is, right? I should be able to hold you accountable. You should be able to lead me in whatever variation of area that is, right? So if my son was here tonight in my best light-skinned beige baby voice, he would say, and I'm gonna tell y'all where this came from. So I have a 20-year-old daughter, a 15-year-old daughter, and an 18-year-old son, okay? So you can imagine as they were growing up, there's a lot of fighting and, tussling and stuff like that. So as he was growing up, one of the things I had to tell him is, it's not okay for you to be fighting your sisters. You have one job: to protect them. That is why you're 6 feet tall and we're 5'8" and 5'5". It's why I can pull up to the house and be like, come get these cases of water from the trunk. Because it's nothing, he'll come, and this is crazy, because he'll come and carry 3 cases of water stacked on top of each other, and I'm like, how does this even work like that? But so the foundation of what I teach my children, and especially teaching my son, is that it is not okay for you to ever put your hands on your sister, your partner, your girlfriend, whatever, because your job is to protect her. And if you don't understand that your height, your build, your strength is supposed to be used for good and not play or evil, then that's how we end up with these guys out here abusing women. So I think there does need to be some criteria. I agree with a lot of the things that were said tonight, but at the same time, in the majority of cases, men have some additional skills, just like women. We have our skill sets that we do better than y'all do. And that's our job, because that's what we were built to do, and we naturally do it better. And we're not usually complaining about it either. You know, it's funny. We like a couple weeks ago we had a remember a guy with the face tattoo that was drunk?
Oh, Drunken Master. Yes.
Drunken Master. He ain't got a name. So after the podcast, he came up to me and he was like, so, you know, I felt like, so like the week before, and I don't know what episode it was, but we talked about the idea of women wanting men to anticipate our needs sometimes, right? To pay enough attention to us to know when we need something and step in. And we talked about like, okay, I'm carrying bags of groceries in the house. Do I need to ask you to do this? Or I look at the fact that I'm carrying all these groceries and step in? That's anticipating, right? So he came to me after, he was like, I felt like you were being defensive. And I was like, okay, so how was I doing that? He was like, well, you were talking about, you know, women having help with groceries. And I was like, okay. And he was like, but we can't do that. We as men can't get women to do that. And I was like, okay, so let me just make sure I'm clear. Do you want women to help you with your groceries? Is that what we're doing? And he was like, well, no. I was like, all right. So this is why we don't talk to drunk people during the podcast. I know this mimosas is very good. Kennedy got us some really good mimosas here. But Hurricane is not going to get a mic to anybody who is even drunk adjacent, right?
That's right.
Right. And if you're drunk adjacent with a face tattoo, we're probably not doing it. It's just not going to happen. So, but the point is, there's a lot of information out there nowadays that is polluting the water, that is causing men and women to be at war with each other. And that's like, I think one of Kevin's pet peeves is that like whole men versus women thing. And I agree, because we're not accomplishing anything with that mindset and that mentality. So we are here to bring out the best in us, right? So thank you all for your responses for the purpose of men. Now, we talked about last week the concept of men, and Henrik wasn't here, so I'll fill you in.
Okay.
The concept of men providing and protecting, and women magnifying and multiplying.
Okay.
And we talked about the concept of, there's this whole conversation of what do you bring to the table, Brandy? Ash, what do you bring to the table? And my response was, we are the table. That is literally your job as a provider to come put things on the table. It's your job to find the right table first. Make sure you don't find a table that's dry rotted, missing legs, unless you're a carpenter, and that's what you do. Make sure that you find a table that aligns with you, your morals, your whatever. But whatever you bring to it, we are going to magnify and multiply. Children is a perfect but basic example of that, right?
Well, but it seems like though, like the same type of, I guess, tutelage that it takes to program, and I don't want to say program because it's a very harsh word, to get men on the right page to do certain things. Not every woman just comes equipped with the skill set to magnify and multiply. A lot of these things are also skill sets that have to be, built.
Why you pick the great,
I
the
was
best
just
table?
about to say,
Literally that reason.
Well, what about the rickety tables out there that need some cloth on it too? You know what I'm saying? You can't abandon all the tables just because they sturdy.
End up being a different way. The ones that got the little paper underneath them, table, and then when you move them, they start wobbling. I'm not sure. So sometimes you have that happen where it perceives to be one thing, and then once you get
intentional
into the
dating,
relationship, it's something different. Now, let's be real, y'all. People fake the phone.
Yeah.
You get the representative for the first usually, what is it, 30, 60, 90 days, whatever. That's true, but that's why we did that. Were you here for intentional dating?
No, I was here for anticipation.
Now, I tell people all the time, you gotta be with a person through 2 sets of seasons. Not spring and winter, but like 2 sets of winter, spring, summer, fall. Because that's when you truly get the, at least somewhat of an average of who people
they
are
really
what
are.
they really are. Because some people go through seasonal depression.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's real. Some people turn into completely different people in the summertime. You gotta be prepared
Or
to deal
when
with people.
presented with
also-
challenges that they haven't been presented with before.
Shut down.
That's a whole other thing. That's a whole other thing. And you don't know. That person, if you have not been with this person through something that they've never been through before, and that you've never seen them, you don't know how they're gonna respond to it.
Yeah, because everybody's happy when things are going
Right,
good.
when life is great.
Oh man,
You're on the party bus.
Let the lights start flickering. You know what I'm saying? You see how cool and relaxed that same person you love is now. Like,
They get up, they in the corner like, you look for where is so-and-so, and you look over there in the corner,
Oh,
they
no,
like,
I'm not even talking about from a fear standpoint of like you scared of the dog, but like when the
shit
struggle,
gets real.
when the struggle,
when the
of
lights
it-
get real, you can't pay no bills.
yeah,
Shit
man,
gets
like,
real.
everything's good when it's good, but when it's bad, you gotta understand who that partner is for you through thick and thin, and figure out if y'all can truly work together through all of that. Because not everybody's equipped for the trip. You know what I mean?
Equipped for the trip.
Some people are just there for fun.
So I just want to say this real quick. I'm not kind to men being that advocate and doing everything for their women, but I take into perspective into my mind as well that I'm raising 2 boys, and I don't want my sons to be taken advantage of, because if y'all look at the news, a lot of what's going on right now is the women killing the men. So you have to take that into consideration too, that some of these women, they come into the table with nothing and expecting a whole lot. 0 equals 0. So if you come in with absolutely nothing and you looking to somebody to do every single thing for you, that's different. And with me being a boy mom, I take that into consideration, and I teach my son, like, it's okay to help a woman. It's okay to take care of somebody if that's going to be your partner for the rest of your life. But an 18-year-old boy, these kids starting off young, they 17, 8, they want them to pay everything. Take them to Ruth Chris. They ain't even going to the movies no more. They going straight to Ruth Chris, and they want your son to pay for it. Yep, they sure do. So I'm just telling you, like, I try to just teach them the right way, because these kids are different. The world is different. The things that they're exposed to are different. And I just feel like it should be a fairness. Like, I feel like too many times everybody looking to the man to do every single thing, and then the man has no support. You want a good man, you need to support your man. You need to uplift your man. You need to help your man when he needs help.
Absolutely.
When I need help, if I don't have it, we automatically look to them. If I lose my job, you need to take care of everything. So why does that change when it's on the other side?
It shouldn't.
So
It
that's my perspective.
I 100% agree with you, Ash, and I will say this, and this is why I keep going back to choosing the right table. And I say that because a lot of the times, like last week, we had a young man who was like 30 years old, and he was kind of talking about some of the struggles he dealt with dealing with women. I'm just like, dude, you're talking. And actually, that's one thing Tate the Great said that was like really useful. He was like, follow your purpose, follow what you do, and you will find your person on that path, right? Maybe if he's that particular person is a general contractor, right? So he's on construction, but he's like, go to Home Depot. Like, there's some woman in Home Depot that probably want to be your construction secretary, like, for real. But if you're looking outside of those parameters for someone and you're like, well, she ain't doing shit. Well, maybe she had a fat ass, but not a fat resume. Like, look at the concept of a relationship the same way you look at, like, a job or running a corporation. If you're a business owner, right? When you're interviewing, that's what it is.
It's a business of love, baby. Cause y'all gotta figure it out together. When you married with somebody and the lights go out, ain't no pointing the finger. Who got the money? Right? If you broke today and I got the money to get the lights back on, what we doing? Like, I'm just being real. You know what I mean?
So men, you do have a certain level of responsibility in relationships. Women, so do you. But at the end of the day, the biggest thing that's going to eliminate a good portion of the back and forth on this is picking the correct partner, which is why we had the whole session about intentional dating, which we'll get into more into when we do our Under the Table episodes. But if a lot of the issues that people have come from picking a person who is not aligned, that is not, that either that person isn't on a team together, or they're on a different team, a completely different team.
But that goes back to the whole trial and everything. No one's gonna be 100% trained. I mean, every now and then you get the person that is truly transparent. Like, listen, I'm at 4 other chicks. And my name Neo. You know what I'm saying? But like, but every every now and then, like, you know, like, you're gonna find a person that will be completely transparent and tell you everything, but most people, like we said before, are going to tell you their representative and lie to you. So what you think, no one gets into a bad relationship on purpose. It's like, I can't wait till the day I get beat. Like, no one's doing that.
But to put to that, I will say that there are a lot of people out here that are not being intentional. And I did the same thing. I was looking for someone to be a companion to me instead of someone to be a protector and provider, right? So there's a lot of people out here, men and women, who are making decisions about their partner for the wrong reasons. And or they're not being intentional about it. Not like necessarily I'm going after him because of his money or I'm going after her because of whatever. But the idea that we're not taking the time and saying, okay, do you check X? You know, we had that, you said that, it was a clip that's going on social media right now where you're like, if you check like 75% of the boxes.
We're gonna round up.
Right, we're gonna round up. But some people, we aren't even getting to checking any of the boxes. We're just like, I like you, you're cool people, you're attractive, and then, okay, let's do it. And then and you'd be surprised, it's a thing.
But we used to call, I think people used to call it the whole face. Like real talk, if you are unintentional, if you're dating, like it's one thing like, all right, you're dating for companionship, like I don't like to be alone, there's that. But then you also have this new alpha approach on both sides, like men and females who like, they just sport effing. Yeah. Because sport effing. You know,
doing it for a sport.
I don't know how young the youngest person is.
You don't have no.
You're just doing it. It's just like it is.
And the crazy thing, the first person I heard say that was like 63.
I'm done.
So it's all up and down the sliding scale. The people who are just doing it just for the sake of doing it because sex is now normalized.
Right.
It's so normalized. Whether it be through media, music, all those other things. So people are just doing things for the sake of doing things, and they just hope the relationship work out, and then when it don't work out, be like, damn, better luck next time.
Mm-hmm. Literally, which is why intentional dating, like literally going into it, and this is kind of the point of last week's episode, was like being clear up front on what it is that you need in order for this person, whoever it is that you find, to be able to support you and for you to be able to support them. Not going into it haphazardly or half-assing it, but honestly asking yourself what it is that you need from this partner, and then holding that line, holding that standard. And if somebody doesn't meet it just because they're cute or just because they are 6 foot or whatever it is that you're looking for as a woman or whatever you're looking for as a man, does not mean that you should compromise that unless we are doing the whole face shit. Because, I mean, you know, everybody got their time to do their thing, you know.
And everybody's benefited from somebody going through their whole
And honestly, like that communication and transparency.
And on the other end of it, the person on the other end needs to be honest.
The person
they have to be honest.
Both parties
need to be honest with somebody what you want them to hear just so you can get them.
Exactly.
You have to be honest. If I'm being real with you and I'm telling you whatever, you know, I don't know why we be talking about marriage on the first day, but I want to get married and I want to have kids or whatever, and you know that you opposed to marriage, that's something you say in that conversation, like, I'm really not
marriage isn't really my thing.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Not go on with it until this person fall in love, and then now I'm like, oh no, we're trying to,
because that's the worst thing ever. Is
but
to
I
get
think
into it.
Sometimes people in relationships can be cocky and feel like I would be the one to change.
Yeah, that's
like,
true.
I heard what you said and I know what you want, but guess what?
Right.
I'm gonna show you this other way.
Crack.
I never feel that way.
I've seen on TV.
I've seen on TV.
I'm sorry, I was doing my best. Like,
oh, you did it? Nah, man, like, man, I wake up every day expecting to find out that I dreamt my entire life. Like, I really do. Like, I am shocked, humbled, and like, I'm impressed every time. But some people will be like, okay, I heard that you said you want children, and I'm gonna wink, wink, nudge, nudge, and go along with it, and then try to get you far out there and then change up on you, and then, you know, and I think that's whack.
I agree.
If that's your intention, you know, like, that is very whack. Because,
I agree.
Because we don't have much time in life. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we look at things on the larger scope of things, if we're all lucky, man, everybody get to be 75, maybe
80-ish.
80-ish.
Ish.
Yeah. Because, like, I just started getting to the point where I was thinking, like, do I really want to be 112?
Do I really want to be 112?
In this economy?
In this economy, I'm done. In this country. Go to Bali and then be 100.
That's what I'm saying.
When $70 is $1 million, that's where you want to be 112.
But do they have Arby's?
But really? You don't need to eat Arby's.
They got the meats.
They got the meats.
But do they have bio coffee is the question. Okay. So you said something, and the whole RB thing threw me, and I lost my thought. But the idea of communication, transparency, and really being willing to be honest of who you are up front when you meet people, because you don't give them the opportunity to know who you are and to really make the correct decisions based on what they want to do. And a lot of times we're selfish. We're like, ooh, he's hot, she's hot, whatever. And then you want to covet this human being. And then you say the things that you think that person wants to hear, but they're not really what's on your heart. Or you think, like Hector said, you're going to change this person. Oh, that's what I was going to say. Oprah said, when somebody tells you who they are, believe them. When somebody shows you who they are, believe them even more. And that's a real thing. A lot of times, and I think women, we're really bad with this. Like, we'll be like, oh, no, he said that, but it's okay because this, that, the other, whatever. And in reality, it was exactly what he said when he met you.
I feel like she said that to Stedman, and Stedman still show up.
Yeah.
You live in a guest house, you know that, right?
Yeah, you like that.
For real?
Yeah, you know,
She just keep them close for you know.
You know you're gonna piss Kevin off. Because that's what happened last week. We started talking about Stedman and Oprah. And he lost his shit. Okay, so guys, we are supposed to be doing something right now that I am super excited. We have a halftime show. What podcast you know got a freaking halftime show? Only the Way of Kingz live podcast has a halftime show. And guess what we got tonight?
Yes, Tish.
For our halftime show. We have Miss Yaz Tish in the building for Who Wanna Ride. Did I say that right?
Yes.
Did I get it right?
Yes.
Awesome.
And she got a fan ready.
Oh no, you ain't seen shit yet.
We about to see something.
Wait, we ain't seen shit yet. This about to go down.
Please show your love. Check. Yes, Tish.
Check.
He said she's DJ from outside.
Okay, so Red Blaze, are we ready for Miss Yaz Tish halftime performance? Okay, so we gonna get this going in a few seconds here.
And tell everybody where you can follow you on social media.
All right, hi everybody. First of all, my name is Yes Tish. I'm a singer, a songwriter, and producer, and I am the other co-owner of Piano Shorty Music Entertainment. We are on Buford Highway. We have a recording studio. We're there for mixing, mastering, podcasts.
Okay.
We have a kitchen in there, so we cook, and I cook with infused CBD food, so you guys might have to try that.
I didn't even know that. I just know them baked beans.
I
was at Yaz Tish's birthday event, and so I love baked beans. But those baked beans,
Special.
those baked beans,
Love it.
life-changing baked beans.
I'm gonna cook for you too. Don't worry.
Yes. Food is one of her love languages. It's my third love. Okay, so everybody in the audience, so you know, food is my third love language.
Me too.
So the Queen Pen of Radio Media says food is her third, fourth, whatever love language.
You got this mic is too high.
How you play it?
It's the mic of the track.
The track.
Check.
Bluetooth connected.
That's a good sign.
Okay, so Bluetooth is connected. There was a sound that happened. No, that's you have no idea. Fan is. We ready. When the fan makes sounds, you already know.
It's kind of, I see pressing the button on the other computer. She working remotely.
So while we're waiting, so y'all, we went to brunch.
Yes, we did.
Miss Queen Pen of
Oh Lord, don't tell them.
Media.
Don't tell them.
We ready? Okay. All right. Y'all ain't ready?
Here come this cowboy, he come trotting up slowly. He got juju eyeballs, he's one
Yo, you wrote that beat.
Yes,
Yes, so I told y'all, just wait till the halftime show.
We went intricate with it.
Is that on Spotify and all that?
Yep.
It dropped yesterday, right?
Just came out yesterday.
So we got like 1 second. I already got it. I don't know what y'all talking about.
Oh my God.
That's like my new favorite song.
Thank you.
So, y'all, the first time I met Tish, this is before the song drops. I had the wonderful, amazing pleasure at Naja's at the Independent Kingz birthday celebration.
Yes.
It happened like, was it 2 weeks ago? A week ago? A couple weeks ago? And I was like, okay, so there's a lady in here with a cowboy hat and some leathers and some, it throws you for a minute because you're like, all right, what we doing? And I was like, and there's a guy, he got on a cowboy hat. But then as soon as the performance happened, I was like, oh, that makes so much sense. The whole outfit is like, now it went from being like confusing to like,
it all makes sense.
It not only it all makes sense, but that's exactly what it should be. Like literally. Love your outfit. Absolutely.
So I had the pleasure of interviewing our team had the pleasure of interviewing Miss Tish. We just interviewed her last week. Her interview aired with us this Monday on the radio, but her YouTube footage is out on our YouTube on the Gumbo Show if y'all would like to go back and hear her story. She has an amazing story. She knows some amazing people, and just how she got to where she's at right now is just very intriguing. So if you're interested in knowing more about her, you can go to our channel as well and watch her interview.
And actually, Miss Tish, would you come up and share? There's something you said at brunch, and we were about to do it, but then they were ready. But there was something you said at brunch, and what really made you decide, because as a producer and a songwriter all these years, and this is being like your first song that you released, there was it was inspiring to me in terms of what made you do it. So would you share that? Because I think it kind of aligns with Headcrack's Move Better segment as well. So you would share that before we go into the second part of the show.
Okay, so for the last, I'm going to say 5 years, because we've been in the building it's going on 5 years in November. I guess I pulled back on me singing because of him. I felt that I started realizing it's not about the artist, it's about the producer. Mm-hmm. And at that time, his friends, everybody was all together, but then people started growing apart. And here he was left holding that bag. You know what I'm saying? It's not easy being a producer, having your own studio. It's very costly. And in the end, it's like, am I just holding on to my dreams? My dreams costing me a lot of money. Okay? So now we have this artist, his name is Jack Bond. Jack Bond's out there, we making good music. Then we get to the point where that next year we want to start getting paid for him performing. And they started trying to block him out of shows. And not pay him and not even offer him the show. So now he's like, well, I need you to make a song. You want me to make a song to do what? To get you in the door? Oh, I got you. That's why we're here today. Because ain't nobody gonna turn you down with this song. We're gonna ride all trail rides we can possibly ride. We're gonna get the bikers involved. We're gonna get the white folks involved. And boy, we're going to the top. We're going to the Grammys with this one.
Damn skipping.
Because that's a very difficult song.
Yes.
And that's a song that is not to be touched.
It's the fine china.
It is. It's fine china. But those words didn't resonate with me. I didn't want to be talking about spinal cracker and here come old flat top. He comes slithering in slowly. He got juju eyeballs. No, I turned it into a Southern soul song where now we talk about here come this cowboy, how he got me feeling all giddy, and you know what I'm saying? Like there's no chase in the music nowadays. It's just here, take your clothes off.
Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am.
Like dang, like there's no respect for the men and the women. There's no respect for women at all. So now this song I feel like gives the woman the edge, where she's kind of in control. Like I don't have to get on your horse because I got my own horse.
Damn it!
I go on my horse, and now she need her shoe shine. I know you like Georgia football. I know you like your moonshine, but what about me?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you want to ride, you ride with me.
Damn it!
I don't have to ride with you.
All right. Okay, and I love your outfit. Yes. Love. She love. show. We have the Get Rich With Us segment with Kevin. But before we do that, we talked about the purpose of men, but we haven't talked about the power of men. So let's talk about that for a second. And I want you guys, while I talk about this initial part of it, I want you guys to ask yourselves and think to yourself, we may or may not get to you all actually being able to share this information. But what do you view as the untapped power of men in our culture?
I love that question.
What do you view the untapped power of men in our culture? So, and obviously the panel, y'all will definitely have an opportunity to answer that. So I will say, we touched on this last week actually, and this is one of the purposes of why the Way of Kingz podcast actually exists, which is helping men to understand, to recognize, and to execute your power, right? And what does that power mean? So a lot of times, especially in the traditional and then sometimes even biblical context, even if we go outside of the Bible and the other religions, we talk about the idea of men in leadership in relationships, right? You hear that a lot. And anybody who's paid any attention to anything I've said over the last 4 years knows that I have a very interesting stand on this concept, that women are not cattle, and we do not need to be led in the traditional sense that it is talked about. Now, are there areas in a relationship where a man can lead us? Abso-freaking-lutely. Yes. Is there areas in a relationship where I am more qualified to lead in a particular situation? Abso-freaking-lutely. And that kind of falls into the 50-50 kind of dynamic that it's a partnership, right? Not a dictatorship, right? Now, one of the things that I have learned in my 40 years of life, raising a man and being in relationships, etc., is that one of the superpowers, I think, of men that is untapped, that is not constant, is not discussed often or brought up often, because I feel like the culture currently, when it comes to men, is very disempowering. It's like men are like slaves, or like men are like being mistreated, and it takes away from what you all are actually capable of. And I'm not saying that there aren't circumstances where men need this or that or the other and it's not happening, but even the way it's talked about isn't from a solution basis, which is what we are doing here at the Way of Kingz podcast. Right, Kevin?
We better be.
So Kevin is our official solution editor. But the idea,
you all the way up out of there. You say the wrong thing, you ain't gonna make it.
Right, he's like. But anyway, the idea that if men decide to take the posture that when something goes left, wrong, problematic in a relationship, instead of them reacting to it, they instead intentionally resolve the issue. How many things does that solve? It doesn't mean that you don't have the right to feel how you feel. But if this is your person, right? So we're operating off of the parameters that this is your person. You didn't pick the wrong table, you're with the right person. If the table's wobbly, we as women, we go through hormonal changes. It's a part of our makeup. We don't actually have any choice in this matter. We have children, we have cycles, we go through variations of things, and we don't have the level of control we would like to have. I promise you. Now, you're laughing, Mo. But we need that stability. We need that foundation, as Kevin said earlier. We need that when we are anxious and excitable in maybe not necessarily in the most positive way, maybe sometimes in a positive way, when we are emotional, we need you thinking clearly. We need you to be like, all right, is this going the way I want it to go? Is this going to end where I want it to end? And if not, what can I do to get us there? Because if I'm emotional and you're emotional, where are we going? To emotional crazy town. That's where we go.
I heard what Kendrick said.
What did Kendrick say? Say it. We are explicit. Say it.
He said, so you on your period and he on this cycle too?
That's what I'm saying. We cannot have that. That is not a balance. So, and I have experienced both sides of it, right? I've experienced being like highly emotional, anxious about whatever, and then having a man who is taking the shit personally, and then we ain't getting nowhere because now we fighting about some shit that ain't even the issue. You said we're listening to Monica. They listen to Monica. Ain't one of them days. And I've also have a man been in a situation where I'm that way, and he's like, okay, but we're gonna focus. I understand that there's 100 things going wrong, but we're gonna focus on what can we do right now. And I'm like, okay, breathe. And there's a hug there, and there's a, and that's what we need. And that's one area of power. Men, you all don't understand. Like, leadership, what leadership really means in a relationship with men and women for a man is leading by example. If you want her to behave a certain, if you want her to be calm, be calm. Even when she's being what we are, emotional. When she is this or that or the other, not to say that you can't do a Kevin and pull out like the facts and then break it down, share all the keys to success, and then not that you can't do all of that, but in reality, when some shit is going down, the most useful thing you can do is be an example of what you want from your partner. And if men just decided right now to be the example, that the level of power and the level of response that you would get from women, am I wrong, ladies? Yeah. I'm wrong? No, I'm wrong. Okay. We naturally will, and it doesn't mean that you won't have to say, okay, baby, I got you. It's okay. It's okay. It doesn't mean you don't have to do that. But we don't have really a reason to do anything other than get on board, get on the train that you are driving. But if you're not driving it, the train is unmanned. If no one is in the driver's seat of that train, where are we going? We're going to crash and fucking burn. And we've all experienced that. Somebody has to get into the driver's seat in those circumstances. And one of the reasons it's so necessary that you guys do it, men, is because a lot of men, this is not all men, but a lot of men particularly listen to men that they respect or fear. And not necessarily the woman that they're in a relationship with. And not necessarily the woman that's on the podcast. Why do you think I have 2 male co-hosts? It's on purpose. And I told Hancock that the day I met him. I was like, I need men to represent this information. Because I have had conversations with men where they're like, and I used to be a chief operating officer, I am a CEO. And I've heard men say, I won't work for a woman. Oh man, that's not good. I won't work for a black woman, which is craziness. But the point is, we have to bypass all that. So in order, even women we don't really care where it comes from. We don't care. If it makes us feel good, if it gets us where we're trying to go, we're like, okay. But with men, there are certain conditions that a lot of times must be met. So you guys need to set those conditions. You need to be that example. And then if you do that, you are leading your relationship from a place of power. Not from dictatorship, but from power. And then from there, we are the happiest, most content. You get all the things you want from us because you are leading us in an area where we need it.
Now, that's an ideal scenario. However, there are situations where guys will try to lead the situation and y'all will kick, scream, and drag all the way down the driveway because whatever fucked up shit happened in your previous relationship that you're bringing into this current situation. Because, similar like when a plane is about to go down, sometimes the pilot will be like, yo, we got to throw this excess baggage on.
Right. What's the excess baggage though?
The excess baggage. Like,
it's the person? You throwing the whole partner off the plane?
No. I'm not talking about throwing people off the plane. No. Okay, it's the things that happened before you got here that forge your worldview, right? That shapes who you are. However, the things that happened before you got here don't necessarily shape what's about to happen to you right now. That we as people gotta walk into each situation like it's a fresh slate. Even when you get into an argument with your partner, some people you can get Olympic gold medals in grudge holding, right? Because you won't let some shit that happened yesterday stay yesterday. You know, you gotta treat it.
But was it resolved yesterday? Because as women, I have to say this. As women, I have to say this. I don't forget shit. So first of all,
I believe me, women don't forget shit.
We don't. But I think actually this goes into one of Kevin's get rich segments, and I don't know which one, so don't quote me on this. But when you address and like resolve things correctly, fully, then we don't have no reason to bring the shit up. But a lot of times it's not resolved. It's like brushed under the carpet. Like what do you say? There's no big things. There's just a bunch of little things that have like snowballed into this thing. The whole purpose of what we're talking about with the power of men really has to do with taking supreme ownership over your relationship. And if something isn't going right, you going, and I take this is how my view is about life. It doesn't matter what it is, relationship, etc. If something in my experience is not what I want it to be, I am responsible. Period, the end. It doesn't mean that there isn't a cooperative component somewhere in the equation that jumped onto my bandwagon and supported the foolishness. But I am responsible. So if men decided that anything that's not going right, assuming you're with your person, and this is the person you want to be with, and this is the right table, and all of that kind of stuff, then you got to say, why am I getting this result? And what can I do to change it? What can I do to resolve it? And if we all take that posture, there is nothing but winning that can happen from that. And that's really the overall goal, which is if we go, all right, so she bringing us with shit from yesterday. It's okay, well, did I actually resolve that shit yesterday? Or did I kind of sweep it under the rug? Or did I like really tell her that I understood? Did I explain what I understood? Or did I only say I understood and she's heard me say I understood 15 times? You know, like, and it's so when you take it from, when you look at it from that perspective, if you as men are willing to take supreme ownership of everything in your experience, especially in your relationship with your partners, it changes everything. Literally everything. And I am challenging you guys to try it. Sometimes that means, you know, it's obviously leading by example, as we talked about. Sometimes that's going like, all right, maybe you have a partner that cuts you off all the time. And I'm very guilty of doing that. I am 100% guilty of doing that. My mind works like a mile a minute, and I'm trying to be better with that, right? But then if we're in a conversation and you're mad at me because I cut you off, but you cut me off, like where are we getting, right?
Yo, to any guy who has a girl that cuts them off a lot, yo, this shit puts them in default reboot mode.
He said reboot.
Walk off. Yo, if you get cut off a lot and they don't understand the flow of conversation, next time they cut you, walk off. Yo, it's hard to have an argument
with somebody who's not there. With somebody who's not there.
And that's a way to soft reboot somebody, because like sometimes things are learned behaviors and you can't uninstall those things in a day. We all have bad habits that we can't, you know, that we're constantly working on trying to do it. Sometimes you gotta like work on different approaches. But I've learned, yo, anytime like I'm in a situation where people don't necessarily respect the flow of a conversation where there's a back and forth, skirt.
All right, so I have an alternative to that, which is before you walk off, do this. Make sure that when they're talking, you listen and you don't cut them off. And at the end of the conversation, say, "Hi, did you notice how X, Y, and Z went? You notice how I didn't cut you off? Did you like it?" No. Who said that?
They don't care.
That's not Mo.
I was sitting there and listening 45. I'm gonna. Yeah.
Okay. So listen, but wait, we're not done yet. But we're not done yet. We're not done yet. So when you're saying, but look, I want to point. But look, I want to point out that Mo interjected his statement when in the middle of my sentence. So are we really gonna believe that there was only one person in this conversation that's cutting the other person off? The answer is probably not, but that's not the point. I'm not judging Mo and his conversation with people that I'm not there for.
Everything, I promise.
But hold on, but we're not done with the conclusion of the solution. The solution is, you say, hey, did you notice how this conversation went? When you were speaking, I allowed you to finish. Did you like how that felt? Yes. We're like talking through it, right? All right, great. Let's make a covenant. I really do believe relationships need to have covenants. You need to have agreements. You need to have basis, foundational stuff that you all have agreed to as a couple, that you all are willing to hold each other accountable to. Can we agree that when we're in a conversation, that when I'm speaking, you let me finish, and when you're speaking, I'll let you finish? Can we agree to that? Yes or no? Assuming the answer was yes, then how are we going to handle when there is a breach? Because you've been cutting people off for 30 years. So this is probably not something you're gonna get the first time. So when this happens, I get to, are you good with me saying, hey babe, remember, we agreed, X, Y, and Z, and how are you gonna respond to that? How many conversations like that are fucking happening? And if they're not happening, I don't hear shit. Try it. I am telling you, it works. If you actually go through the entire process, don't stop halfway through the process and be like, it don't work. She don't want to hear the shit. It's not true. Finish the process. Because if you're in a relationship with somebody who will not agree to a covenant or will not hold up their end of the bargain, you're in a relationship with the wrong person.
Yes, wrong time.
The end. Exactly. So when we're not, this is not a conversation. We're not having a conversation about picking the wrong table. We're not having a conversation about picking the wrong man. We're having a conversation of this is someone who is willing to work with you, who wants success to be there, who is genuinely as invested as you are. If that's the case, I promise you, if you try this, it will work. Now, before we're done. Okay, so Kevin, get rich with us. How are we getting rich today?
All right, so every week on the Get Rich With Us segment, we try to delineate the difference between information and knowledge. And I heard it explained once that information may be facts, but you can't do anything with it to serve you, your family, your community, your environment. So a lot of times you'll hear somebody talking about what it's like on Mars. What aliens do.
Okay, Elon.
And aliens do this type of thing, but it can't necessarily benefit us. It's not something that we can do something with. With knowledge, not only is it facts, but you can do something with it. You can use it in such a manner to benefit you or those around you. So every week we give a little homework, and our homework is for you to try something, but put it into motion. Do something with it so that we can all learn and benefit from it and get sharper and sharper. So this week, our challenge is, what we're going to do is how many of us are competitive, real competitive? In either when you play a game, when you play Uno, Spades, Monopoly, whatever the case, or whatever it is that you're competitive in your field of work or things of that nature. All right, so this will be easy for those. If you consider yourself a competitive person, this should be easy. But what we're going to do is we're going to pick a few positive traits, like either giving someone a compliment, surprising them. This could be the person you're in a relationship with. This could be your children. This could be a family member. On an expert level, it'll be somebody you don't like. If you can apply this to someone you don't like, then
I love that.
You're
That's
really
shit.
good. However, this is what we're going to do. We're going to pick 3 things. For example, a compliment, a surprise, or a gift. That's just an example of 3 positive things that you can do. This has nothing to do with you. It's somebody outside of you that we're going to apply these things to. And we're going to do it every day for 7 days. If you miss a day, you got to start over. You got to do it for 7 days.
What do I get?
We'll see.
Okay, I'll see.
So what's going to happen is, let's say I pick a gift, a compliment, or whatever the case is. I pick my 3 things. I noticed that my wife's house shoes are kind of old and run down. So I'm going to surprise her with some new house shoes. It could be something small. A new pen if her pen is her name's rubbed off of it. Whatever the case is. We're going to pick 3 positive things, and we're going to have a competition unknowingly with this other person for 7 days. And we're not going to allow them to outdo us. Our competition is going to be better at it than they are.
Oh, okay. That's the competitive part.
They're not going to give me more compliments than I give them for the next 7 days. Every day for 7 days.
Love that shit.
They're not going to surprise me or give me more things than I get them for the next 7 days. I'm going to take it like personally. Like, I want to win this contest. I want to do these positive things more than they are going to do it to me. Now, it's very easy if you're doing it with children.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times they haven't.
You got to give them the money to get you something.
They haven't developed it a lot lately. If you're in a relationship, it's a good competition. And again, if you're on an expert level, pick somebody at work that you don't like. Or pick somebody in your family that get on your nerve or so on and so forth. And out-positive them on these 3 things. every single day for 7 days. Do it. At the end of the 7 days, what you'll notice is the effect that it has on that person. When, again, this is not about you, but you'll start to see that it changes the way that they respond to you. It changes the way that they act around you. It changes their spirit. One thing that we were talking about just a moment ago is, and this is just an example, you were saying, hey, what's one thing that's lacking in men in our community? Positive compliments or speaking with people that you don't know. I see women do that a lot. They'll walk past and say, oh my God, your jeans are,
we do.
You know, so on and so forth. I see women do that, and every time I'm thinking, you know, I'm gonna do that, and I don't. But women are, in my opinion, better than that than most men. If it's somebody you don't know and you like their shoes, you like their haircut, you like their so on and so forth, men are just
that furry ass Tish.
Men will just say it and just keep, you know, just look at
sunglasses
it,
match that dress,
and keep moving. Whereas women will call it out and say, oh my God, your hair is gorgeous, you're so on and so forth. That's something that we could all use more of, and this competition will cause us to practice. The more people you practice it with, the better you have to be at it. So if you pick 3 people to do it at, or if you just pick your partner, or if you just pick your child, or whatever the case, that's up to you. But pick at least 3 things, not one, not just compliments.
But wait, I thought there was only 3. What more is there other than
that you could do positive for a person?
Right, like examples.
For example, you could surprise them by filling up their car with gas.
But I thought surprise
or washing
was
their car.
Okay. Surprise. I'm just verifying. So you understand the homework.
I'm saying that you can come up with the positive characteristics. The only thing about what you're doing, it's not supposed to benefit you.
Okay.
It's supposed to benefit.
So it really
that
doesn't
person.
matter as long as it's something that's good. Okay. Gotcha.
Something that's positive that you're doing for someone else, someone outside of you. Again, it could be as small as a compliment. It could be a gift. It could be taking care of something that they're supposed to take care of. It could be surprising them by making dinner. It could be, you know, just whatever the case is. But your idea is to beat them at being more positive or doing something more for them than they do for you.
That's a hell of a challenge.
And if you're in a relationship with a person that's always complimenting something, then it's like game on.
Right.
You know, they're not gonna out compliment me.
Right. Exactly.
You know, so if they beat you to the punch and they give you a compliment, you're like, oh my God, they trying to show me up. Meaning that's the type of competition that we should have with each other. It'll cause our relationship to develop better and better and better. And even if things are rocky between 2 people, when you practice it that way, then I really want to outdo this person in doing something for them. Something spiritual, something mental, something physical, whatever the case is, I want to do something for them more than they're going to do for me. And I really take this serious. And I'm going to do it every single day for 7 days. If each of us practice that, I think you'll have great results and great stories to come back the next week and say, like, hey, I've noticed a big difference in how I interact with people. Or whoever. The person could be at work, it could be your child, it could be your relationship. But let's all try and take that in as practice.
I love that. Get rich with us.
That's dope. I think it does a great job too, because you know a lot of times it's real easy to get complacent in relationships and like stop doing those same things you did to pursue and move that person. So that gives it an extra jolt and a spark. So hell yeah.
I love that. Okay, so thank you, Kevin, for Get Rich with us. Thank you, Headcrack, for Move Better.
Oh, thank you for being you.
I do try. Thank you guys for participating in the Speak to the Queen with Me segment. Thank you, Yas Tish, for your amazing halftime performance. Thank you, Kiwi, for your opening performance. We are ready for your closing performance. Are you ready, Kiwi? What I gotta say, the fact that them glasses and that dress is the exact shade, like, as a Virgo, who, like, I don't know, it's a weird thing with my brain where shades of colors matter. Like, I can't wear an off shade. Like, people do that. I can't do it. So, but to Kiwi, I gotta give you props. Because you did that, girl. Are you ready? All right, we're ready for you. Hurricane?
All right, y'all ready to wrap this thing up tonight? Y'all ready to go hard or go home? Are y'all ready for it? I want y'all to show a lot of love straight out of New Jersey. Put your hands together for Kiwi. Give it up for Kiwi in the building.
Hello. My name is Kiwi. Let's go by your favorite fruit snack. You can follow me on all platforms, and my music is on all platforms as Kiwi with 2 eyes.
A day, right?
Yes.
I got that. Hey.
Hey, y'all. Can I turn the music up, please? More.
It's my song.
More, please. This is for everybody that's working hard, okay? You either go hard or you go home. So we go. Who knew we'd ever get this far from where we started? Been through the rain, been through the storms, been broken hearted. No matter what's what, we always do what we're able. No matter what's what, you know what we came for. Keep going so hard. But they fucking let's go. So hard. They fucking let's go. Go hard, go hard. Go hard, go hard. 'Cause we go so far. They fucking let's go. Standing on the couch, see this house. When we come around, celebrate big rounds. Yeah, check the weather now, it's the season. Ain't no competition, no competing. 'Cause we go so hard. When we come through, you know we stars. We took the path and went so far. When we've been grinding from the start. 'Cause when it comes to fate, we don't bother. If times get hard, we go harder. When it comes to the fate, we don't bother. If times get hard, yeah, we going so hard. They fucking let's go. Go so hard. They fucking let's go. Go hard, go hard. Go hard, go hard. 'Cause we go so hard. They fucking let's go. No matter what's what, we always do what we're able. No matter what's what, you know what we came for. Thank you. Next song, Joe. Next song, All Platform, is Kiwi with 2 eyes. We gonna ride out?
Your
Ride
favorite
out?
snack.
Are we gonna ride out?
Right out.
Let's ride out. Let's do it.
Thank you, Kiwi.
All right. Follow me, see what it could be, if only for the weekend. Maybe we can ride out, maybe we can ride out. Wanna live like right now for the weekend. Don't you wanna see the ocean? Make it risky, not your mind. Shower ready, open the shores and only for the weekend. Say no on my knees, celebrate my feet. So I'll risk everything if only for the weekend. Maybe we can ride out, maybe we can ride out. Wanna live like right now on the weekend. Maybe we can ride out, maybe we can ride out. Wanna live like right now on the weekend. All the kids to please, don't disturb me please. Balcony and keep only for the weekend. If we pass time to hide out, take it risk and with no doubt. And we come in with all that only for the weekend. Thank you guys.
All right, y'all keep it going for Kiwi. Keep it going for Kiwi. And you will find her at my favorite, your favorite fruit snack.
Hurricane is not saying a lot of stuff. Okay.
You said I'm not saying?
Not saying. So,
Kiwi with 2 eyes.
Kiwi with 2 eyes.
Your
Well,
favorite
no,
fruit snack.
It was a joke about your favorite fruit snack.
And you can find her at
Your favorite fruit snack.
my favorite.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about right there. That shit. He keeps saying
Your
my
favorite fruit snack.
Hurricane's favorite fruit snack
My
and
favorite fruit snack.
like literally. Why do you think he is our comedic MC? Let's give Hurricane a round of applause. Hurricane is willing to MC and host your events. Hit him up via DM. If you need a comic, some live comedy, some stand-up, he got you. Featured here. Seen at the Way of Kingz. Okay.
That's wrong.
All right, okay, so thank you. We got DJ Red Blaze on the line. All right, so usually we like toast in and out, but see our mimosa glasses are empty. We drank all of it, so we're gonna say thank you all who came out tonight. Thank you, Gas Tish and Piano Shouting. All right, so thank you guys. Thank you everyone who came out tonight. We are looking forward to seeing you next week. So we only have 3 episodes left of season 1. At season 2, we will not be every week. So come and participate while you can, because it's going to be a whole new thing come season 2. We're going to tell you more about that next week. All right. Thank you all for coming out tonight to the Way of Kingz Live podcast. Good night, you guys.
Yeah. Thank you all for being here, Way of Kingz podcast. Live at the Real Open Here.
He looks disturbed. Camera went out? The sound?
Oh, that is not even a joke.
That was great, ladies. You looked great over there. I love your earrings. You look good.
I gotta get this fan going. I'll be ready for your shit. You get it? I know I can get that fan and hit that hoe, okay?